Bergeron. There you go. Board members, come on up. Board members, come on up. Other than the one where we got blown away. Yes. Yeah, sorry. All board members, come on up. I couldn't recognize you. Kurt, yeah, Kurt, gotta come in. Kurt, come on in.
Abby, you gotta go. I don't think they asked me. Pretty cool.
Yep. Abby in here.
I'm right here.
Yes. Abby, I would like you to. Brad, you need one, right? Yes. Yep. Can you hear me? Great. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the groundbreaking ceremony here for the new Pleasantview Elementary School. My name is Brad Bergstrom, and I'm lucky enough to be the superintendent here. And I want to welcome everybody who's here today for this wonderful celebration. The path and the journey to get here took us a little longer than maybe what we would have hoped for, but we've made it here. And part of the reason we're here is that there was a lot of people along the way. I'm going to have to take my glasses off because now I can't see anything. Along the way, there was a lot of people that helped to get us eventually to this point. And I'd like to take a few moments and recognize some of those people so we make sure that we acknowledge their efforts, their work, and not just the group that was involved in getting the last bond passed, but also those who were involved prior to getting that passed. So some key people that I want to make sure that I make mention of and thank today. Number one, I'd like to thank Tracy Fierick, our own Tracy Fierick now, and Denise Christie for their wonderful work as part of the Vote Yes team. Bryce Johnson and Carl Newbanks were also very instrumental in helping to get us to this point where we're at right now. Some other people, Phil Rugholt, Aaron Sinclair, Andy Johnson, Dr. Dan Bittman, Bruce Watkins, Chris and Doug Patterson. All these people help play a role, plus what you see here today and getting us to this opportunity to have this groundbreaking ceremony. And I just want to make sure that we take a moment, acknowledge their work that they did, and thank them with a round of applause. At this time, I'd like to have a representative from ICS, Dave Bergeron, if you'd like to come up and say a few words, please.
Well, welcome everybody to the historic groundbreaking for Pleasantview Elementary School. My name is Dave Bergeron. I'm one of the principal owners of ICS. We're the firm that is helping to lead the design and the construction of Pleasantview. Excuse me. The replacement of Pleasantview marks a significant change for the Sauk Rapids Rice School District in your ability to change the educational value that you can deliver to the kids throughout the district. And I'd like to take the opportunity, just like Superintendent Bergstrom, to thank a few people that have been along this path. I want to start with Principal Abby Froyland and her staff. I don't think a lot of people realize how much time and energy that goes into educating kids in the facility that you have, but then also the time and energy in the design and now through the construction process. So thank you, Abby. I'd also like to thank Superintendent Bergstrom and Brad Burgess, the Director of Facilities, for their support and direction through the design and now into the construction as we move forward. And also former Superintendent Aaron Sinclair and Director of Business Andy Johnson, who are also instrumental to get us to where we are today. And like any great team, for a team to be successful, you can't do it just with a few people. It takes a team. And I want to acknowledge a few people from ICS who have led through the team, through the design process, and now into construction. So if you can just raise your hand. Kyle Walter, who is the project program manager. We also have Eric Halland, who will be the site superintendent here, and also Luke Selkin, the project engineer. And all three of these gentlemen are local to the Sauk Rapids Race District. We also have representatives from Wold Architectural. Again, if you can raise your hands. Val Peterson, Aaron Osling, and Rochelle Redding, who have, again, led from the design process. And as a team, we're pretty proud that the folks who are going to build Pleasantview, over 60% of the contractors will be local to the Sauk Rapids Race School District. So in closing, a big thank you and congratulations to the Sauk Rapids Race School Board, the students, the staff, and the communities of Sauk Rapids and Rice. Your foresight and commitment will dramatically improve the educational value for the kids of Sauk Rapids and Rice schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Every great team has a wonderful leader, and our next speaker, as Dave mentioned, has been doing an amazing job of leading her staff through the design phase and now into the construction phase, and will be leading this building when we open it up in the fall of 2022. So it's my pleasure at this time to welcome Abby Foiling to the podium.
Thank you so much. I too have some people that I would like to thank. First of all, I would like to thank the Sauk Rapids Board of Education, because truly it was through your resilience and your stick-to-itness that we got this done, so thank you so much. I would also like to thank the communities of Sauk Rapids and Rice for your overwhelming support of this the third time. It was just so great to have you so much saying, this is the way we want it done. And so thank you so much to those communities. I would also like to thank ICS and Wold. It's been nothing but a pleasure to work with you through all of this, and it's just been so fun to have a team that's so interested in learning the why behind different decisions and so interested in what we want to do for our students going forward here. The last group that I would like to thank, well, I have two left, I guess. The two groups that I would also like to thank are the two teams that I play the most on, and those are the administrative team of Sauk Rapids Rice. It's always a pleasure to be challenged by those people around you, and so thank you for making all of us better by being on that team. And then also the staff of Pleasantview, who have just relentlessly said, we want this done and we want it done right. And so thank you so much for everything that you do. Now that I'm done with the thank yous, I just want to say we are so very grateful. One of the landmark pieces of this piece of property happens to be this amazing oak tree that stands behind here. And it reminds us daily when we come to school and when we come to work of its enduring strength and its resilience as it continues to grow through storms, through fires, through generations, and through pandemics. And we are so excited that our new Pleasantview building is going to have the essence of this tree inside of it. And that this spirit is going to live in the building that you're building here. And we are so excited that those parts are going to be there. And as our Pleasantview staff, we are fully prepared to empower generations of students to find that same enduring strength and resilience to grow beyond what can be imagined. And it's just such an exciting beginning. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Abby. Well said. anytime you have a project like this, there's opportunities for partnerships to be formed. And some we've talked about already, the partnership with ICS, the partnership with our communities in both Sauk Rapids and Rice, the partnership with the construction groups that are going to be working here. But I would be remiss if I didn't say that one of the partnerships that really grew and was very helpful in this process is the partnership that we had with the city of Sauk Rapids. At this time, I'd like to ask our mayor to come up and say a few words about the project to us. So please welcome Mr. Mayor.
Good afternoon, everyone. What a great day, right? I'm not talking about the snow, I'm talking about the great day because we get a new school. Gabby, I don't have my glasses on because I can't see what's going on. Wherever you went. I remember taking a tour a couple years ago here with Russ Olson and Aaron was with us too. I couldn't believe it. I've been years since I've been in here. My daughter came here for speech therapy about 30 years ago, and I couldn't believe the difference. So, you need this guidance. So thank you for all your work. I want to introduce a couple of people too that I just saw. And I think I have a council member here with me, Dottie Siemens, down there. Want to raise your hand? I think most of you know her. She's a good school board. Todd Schultz, our development director from the city, Russ Olson, the city administrator, and I don't know if I missed any other council members if they came in. You did, raise your hand. You have two Benton County commissioners here, Steve Heinen, it's Kate Bunny, and Spencer Berkeley. Spence, they represent both these areas here, very close. I know the boards are very close here, so. Also, I want to thank Brad, thank you very much for the invitation. One of my goals when I got here, my goal was to get closer to the school district. I want all the board members very well too. I have them there, so thank you for all your work. And thank you for what I call your perseverance. You have so many meetings, so much planning, so many referendums. I know how much work you put into this, and it's paid off, as you can see today. And really, I think Amy said it earlier, thank you to the community and the residents who voted to rebuild Pleasantview. I think this shows the district residents can come together and demonstrate their commitment to education and excellence for every child in the community when there's a need. And this was definitely a need. I think this is a great asset for the school district, for the city, and for this neighborhood. This neighborhood is totally different without the school here, so I really appreciate you keeping the school here. That's my own personal opinion. But more importantly, it's going to be great for the teachers and the students. And I can't wait to come in there for a tour. Once we get your blueprints, right? So congratulations on the new building. I remember something you used a tagline in one of the referendums. It's probably a bad omen, but I'm going to say it anyway. Great schools are good schools. I think it said, strong schools build strong communities. And that's very true. So thank you very much. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to point out a couple of people that are here from the school district as well that I was remiss in talking about a little earlier. Jenny Bushman is here. Thank you for being here today, Jenny. Nicole Wilkie is here. Thank you. Corey. And who else am I missing? Well, Brad is over here. Is Jan? And there's Jan over there. Hi, Jan. Awesome. Glad that she could be here. So welcome to those and thank you for being there. Our last speaker today is somebody that has been the chair of the board for a period of time and has really helped lead the board as we looked at this project and made final progress with it and got the referendum passed. And good districts have good leadership. And at this time, I'd like to have our chair of the board, Ryan Bukowski, come up and share a few minutes.
Well, thank you everyone for coming. I did not prepare anything, so because I was told to keep it short. But what I will say is I want to correct Mr. Bergstrom from a point that he made earlier. He said fall of 2022. It's August of 2022, Abby, right? It's August of 2022, not fall of 2022. So just everyone, I want to make sure we're clear on that. ICS. Yeah. So, thank everyone for coming today. The Board of Education, I know with 2 failed referendums, and it got personal and it got ugly out there, and perseverance is definitely a great adjective for that. So thank you for that. The Mayor, Kurt, thank you for your leadership with the city and the city council members. I really appreciate that. Ross, the superintendent and I get to meet monthly, and that was with Aaron as well. And such progress was made. And when you combine the two entities, like Kurt said earlier, strong schools, strong communities, it just can't be said enough. So thank you for all the time in the meetings, and it was endless meetings, and it was endless community outreach, especially with Mark Hauk and Phil Rugholt. We kind of led the information campaign the second time around, so I want to thank Phil for that as well. Stepping back a little bit, or a lot of it, I grew up in the 700 block, right up the street. This was my park. This was the neighborhood park. That tree used to have a bridge by it. We used to jump off that bridge. We used to climb that tree. We used to fall out of that tree. I went to school here from first grade through fourth grade. Mrs. Anderson, Mrs. Patson, music teacher, Mr. Rogowski, the gym teacher. This was, when I went to elementary school here, it was amazing. It was futuristic at the time. It was almost brand new, and we really enjoyed it. And she has served the community very well. For 50 years, this elementary school has educated our community and our kids. Because at the time, Sauk Rapids had one elementary school. Rice had one elementary school. And I went here, and I loved it. But I got to tell you, what is about to come is even better yet. And I'm so excited for what is about to come in August of 2022. Thank you for your time, everybody, including the weather and the mud. But Joe's Excavating is busy out there. And thank you for ICS for all of the local bids, local money. That's awesome news. And I'm going to turn it back over to the MC. And Jan, thank you for coming. She's in the car, so the live stream can't see it. We're all here.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Greatly appreciate the correction. That is right. It is August of 2020. In my mind, that fall is always the start of the school year, right? 2022, excuse me. So August of 2022. I'll get this right eventually. Give me about another year and a half. I'll try to get it right. Well, we're all very excited to be taking this next step in the evolution of education here in Sauk Rapids Rice. And the new Pleasantview School, to what the board chair talked about, this building has served its students and its staff and its community very well for 50 years. And we're looking forward to another 50 plus years of the new building being here and providing those wonderful educational opportunities for our students, a great place for our staff to work and provide those opportunities, as well as being a fabric and a part of the neighborhood that is here in this Pleasantview community. So appreciative of all the work that everybody has done to get us to this point. It's the people that said yes, it's the people who did all those countless meetings, it's the people who were involved in going out and sharing the story of why this building was important to our community and why it was important to our kids. And as we look forward to the construction being completed and the kids and the staff coming in here for the first time on in August of 2022, this journey will have been well worth all of the time, work, and effort that was put into this. So thank you very much to everybody who's been a part of this. At this time, I'll ask the board and other members up here. We're going to go ahead and do the ceremonial first shovel full of dirt. You have the pile of dirt in front of you. Abby, I'm going to have you come stand here with this shovel right here. And Brad, any sequence that you want us to do with this? Any method to the madness? Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. One, two, three. Good job, everybody. Very nice job.
One more.
One's not enough. One, two, three.
Yeah, all right, just keep working.